Hello, comrades. It's Premier Rever, and I am back again, looking down on the city of Revergrad. How is old Revergrad doing? It's been a while. In some ways, it feels like a while, but I don't think it's as long as I anticipate. Just because I've been spent a lot of time paused, but just wanted to see how we're doing. We got tons of professors and teaching the maximum. Well, not the maximum because we haven't turned down, but how is our overall population going? Oh, look, our radio station is still having an effect with the loyalty. That is going up fairly nicely. I'm assuming it affects people throughout the whole realm, right? Not just in Revergrad. We'll see if it tops out unexpectedly low, but we'll see what happens with that. It'll be good to understand that mechanic in case I imagine one day they're going to make that loyalty mean more than it does now. We have quite a few unemployed workers, which is something to probably take a look at. In this episode, I kind of want to just straighten out some problems, and let's first start out by talking about each of our constructions, making sure they're working on them. So here is our, we're working over towards building a tunnel. Now I have the Kameen guys working on it. So now one thing, yeah, so there's an excavator. Yeah, Kameen construction office. So because these guys in I guess where's that energy disk, right? Yeah, technically it's close to oil chaw, but are working on this building, which is getting almost done. They have all their materials. So we'll have to come back here pretty shortly, and we have one more building left to go before we can fire up our and we need to get this pipeline done too. Huh? Well, why don't we assign them the pipeline right now? Because that should be relatively easy to accomplish. And they have the vehicles sitting around. You know what? Heck with it. We're just going to do them all. That way I don't have to worry about coming back. It may stretch them a little thin for a few minutes, but that's okay. They'll get it done in the end, right? So the other thing to take a look at is, look at that. Yeah, we've already got a jam up 2 seconds in. Now, this guy appears to be coming back on this track, which is probably this one, which is just Chemsaw unfinished road. So let's see if we can just delete that one. Yes. All right, so now what I want to do is come up here and just put in a couple signals, I think, so that these guys are separated. Because I can see this signal's red, so I don't want them fighting with each other the entire time, right? There you go. So now that guy... Oh, what are you doing? What happened there? Oh, because we... Let's see. Why can he not... Oh, okay, so probably because I messed up his construction he was working on. Messed up the other guys. Now, why can you not get back? Let's get rid of that one. All right, now let's reassign it and see if he'll come back out. He's coming back out, which is good. Yep, he's got a green signal now. Yep, all right. So one of the other things I thought about just as we're going around is I have some of these things like this, and I think I'm just going to get rid of them unless I intend to build them right away, because I become kind of immune to seeing these signals around. Like, there's always these triangles telling me I have unfinished work to do, and I can always reassign them easily enough, and 9 times out of 10 that's not how I'd want them built anyway exactly. So we are working on this road, and I think that is, yeah, Pajik North. They kind of need something to do here, don't they? They're a full construction crew with nothing to do. But then the other thing to say is, once I get like these roads done, okay, so we don't have this one worked on. I think I was planning on Lumbriska doing that for some reason, though I don't think... Well, these guys don't have pavers and all that stuff, and this will be an asphalt road. So do we have... Yes, we have enough to get started up here. So let's assign these guys to here. It's going to be kind of a long road project for them. Keep them out of our hair for a little bit. Good. And then let's see. We need to go back and get the roller, don't we? Let's go do that real quick. I remember from last episode. Yeah, so you go back and get assigned to here. We actually have two, so let's go back to here real quick because it's closer. We don't have another open haul in there, right? No. So let's go take an open haul out of here since he's not doing anything. And send him back down, and hopefully we'll remember to pick up our excavator and bring him out too. There we go. Okay, good. So, back to Revergrad here, right? What else should we look for? I can't imagine we're not educating people. This town, because we have the university, we're probably always going to have enough teachers here. One of the biggest problems I think that we have down here is corn. I think because we have this train bringing corn down here, it's really overkill on the corn. It's, like we're just not doing enough. Now, I don't want to necessarily improve all of our industries. And say we don't have enough fabric for some reason. Why wouldn't we be backed up on fabric? Is it a matter of employees? So we do have a truck here. And we are producing, which is good. And, well, we're not getting enough chemicals down here. We do have... Yeah, we never did set... So let's take one of these. They don't have anything in them, right? So let's take one of these covered wagons and go up and get some chemicals. Now, how are we going to do this? All right, so let's go to here and say you're going to get chemicals from here. And you're going to come back to, I could have just zoomed in on that. Well, there's no reason we can't just bring them right to here, right? We got two open spots, and I don't even know if any trucks are even going in there. So let's say get chemicals. And I don't think I want you to wait up there, but you can wait until you're unloaded. How's that sound? Good. So that guy will now be getting us some chemicals. We might want to put two trucks on that, but we'll see. At least we got one less truck sitting here. Now, the other thing to do, I think, is we have these trucks that are running back and forth to here. And I think I want to put them all on the same cycle, which would be to drop off here, which is what we have so far. And then I want to add another, I want you to just stop by here and try to drop corn into there, just because it's kind of makes a loop anyway. And then I want you to come here, oops. I want you to come there, right? So we're just going to have them all do, unload, and then we'll just make them all crop. So I want whatever trucks we have down this way. I want to set on that same thing. I think I want to take that off of unload. Yeah, I guess you can wait there, right? I mean, if we don't have any corn, that'll be a good thing to trigger the... Now, the problem is, well, whatever. They're kind of going to waste some fuel, I think, sometimes. But hopefully that'll get us... If we take these vehicles and, like these two, we'll add these two to the mix, right? That'll cut down on how much time this guy spends sitting here waiting. Maybe. I don't know. We might have to do something with the train. But all right, these guys should now have that route. Okay, so you two start. And then I think there's at least one more guy down here. Let's look for covered wagon. Now, he's a food guy. What are you? You're the guy I just clicked on. How about you? No, you need this route. Yeah, I think he's the only other guy that we have down here. Yeah. So see, now he's already filled up this. He's, with the 4 trains or trucks. I mean, I think we're going to start exporting a bit of corn. Now have we exported? Not that one. Have we exported any corn? No. So we'll keep an eye on that, right? No, just power. So we're not really exporting much of anything to there. And if nothing else, let's take a look at this depot. I think we'll go around too and look at each of these depots and see which trucks we have sitting around doing nothing. Now these 2, there should be flatbeds coming to pick them up. And we'll see how that goes. Yeah, so I think that's probably the biggest thing. I mean, there's definitely improving our little cattle thing here, but I don't want to get into any major, no major improvements on our industry. We'll talk about that relative. I think I want to start setting up better industries, and Revergrad just isn't, these industries were put together because we had little money and few vehicles, and we just were making dollars and didn't have any rubles coming in. But at least we got, I think, our production slightly better. As these trucks run their routes, I think we'll be in much better shape. But we'll see. We'll keep an eye on it. Other than that, yeah, too many people probably down here. All our houses are full. That's something else to keep in mind. There. Okay, good. Now, the other thing to do is to say, well, do we want this guy doing this route this way? No. Why don't we have him... Yeah, what we would need to do is move this ChemSol. By the way, I'm working on the test version. If you notice, I just double-clicked, and it shows me that building, and I can come back up to it. It's kind of wonderful because you can do the same thing with the construction offices. So when they're working on something, you can now zoom to whatever they're working on. So what I think I want to do is come here and say add a stop here, unload the crops, but wait. You know what though? They may never, well, that's okay. I think maybe we just keep doing the Importska. Let's delete this one. We keep doing the Importska by, there we go. So he'll start moving. He was pretty much empty anyway. And he'll come down there, he'll drop off what he can, but maybe the Importska could be done by truck. And this guy will just drive all the way down there to drop off in case the trucks aren't keeping up. He can kind of top it off. And I have a feeling that that'll be more than enough. All right, so while we're up here, we're still constructing there. Yeah, we seem to have our trains working well. Now these bridges are going to need bricks. Do we have bricks coming up to here? No. All right, so that's another thing, huh? Do we have any more open hauls? Yeah, we do have open haul here, huh? All right, what's your job? Okay, you're bringing the bricks. No, okay, yeah, you're bringing the bricks over to here. So I want you to go up to here. And then once you're up there, we're going to send him from here to here. But I want you to load when you're here. I want you to load up some bricks. And then I want you to unload bricks. There we go. Right? Yeah. Good. Okay, so we should get some bricks there for when it comes to building the bridges. Wonderful. All right, now, let's take a look at, okay, we've got a bunch of trucks sitting in here. Got a couple dumpers. Now, how are we doing? Oh, let's go back to one of my main priorities. I want to keep working on getting over to there. So I want to make sure throughout this episode that we keep our construction guys. Yeah, we got one. Yeah, I think the thing to do now, I probably should have got this guy up here first, was to get this. Come on. Get this guy going. The excavator is probably more important to get started on that road than a paver, because we need to get the gravel down first. So that was my mistake. There we go. Now, I did send another truck down there, right? I'm not just thinking I did. If not, yeah, well, we can come here and check. Yeah, it definitely did. So he's just not down there yet. All right, good. So the excavator should be up here, which should greatly speed up this. But the question was, we're going to bring, yeah, let's take this guy and this guy out of here. And let's see, we were going to put two more, really, you know what, let's just take a dumper and put him there. There. Okay, so that's a little bit more stuff straightened out. Now, what other vehicles? So we have these vehicles sitting around, and I think what we could do with them, these were all the different food ones that are definitely been replaced. These are definitely been replaced by the train. So let's just pile them over here. Here comes our, now there's another one of these tracks, another one of these yellow, you know, construction triangles that we're just gonna, I'm not putting in another railroad track there. So let's just do that so that we're in good shape as far as getting rid of more of those signals. Like these are good because we're going to work on them shortly. We could work on getting this attached, but let's one thing at a time, right? All right, so here's what I'm thinking. We can use these covered wagons to export things. We can't export wood. What was our wood train doing? And I thought, oh, that's right. We didn't. We can get a lumber train going whenever we want. We built that track. But if we come up here, yeah, look, we're getting a lot of mechanical components. Let's limit the amount there. We don't need that many mechanical components there. But what that's telling me, let's see, related vehicles. Oh yeah, see, they've added things like this. And see this plus minus, that's kind of nice too, to like shrink. But I wish they did more than shrink the images. Like I don't necessarily, like if we could close this, then that would really shrink that thing. It's certainly like, I don't need to see the voltage all the time, but maybe that's kind of good that you do see it, right? So we have this vehicle, and it's going from the Chemsol warehouse to the Gulag warehouse. But when you get done that route, go up to the Molna customs house and unload. Kind of interesting to unload anything in case he ever got anything else in them that we didn't like, right? Oh, there we go. Right, and I think what I want to do, at least for a couple of these guys, let's close that locomotive. Let's put two more guys on that. Sound good? And then we'll put one more on. Okay, so let's make sure we have it all. Yeah, no waiting. Yeah, but wait to load. Okay, now I don't know, that may be too much, and we may have just caused a traffic jam, but now there should be somebody who's taking stuff to, well, this doesn't, they can get their stuff here. So the only other place we would really want the mechanical components being dropped off would be here. Yep. And so what I want you to do, so you're going from, fire extinguished, didn't even know there was a fire. So instead of going from Importska to Gateway Love, I would probably have them do the opposite, right? So let's assign a new stop of here, right? Yeah, so let's delete this one and send them to Gateway Love for now, just so that they don't come down here too quick. And oops, I did that again. Let's assign this, and then there you go. So now unload whatever you have there. And there you go. So now we should be exporting some mechanical components. Now I don't know, maybe we need to work on how many we're storing, but at the same time, this Importska warehouse is already full. So it seems like we're full, and we're going to have a number more trucks. Let's go over to this guy first. And we'll put 2 trucks on that route. So let's take and copy this to this guy. Make sure we're waiting and unloading. Yes, good. All right, so we can close this, start that, close that. All right, how's our constructions doing? Do we have bricks in here yet? No, why not? Are we just getting there? Or did I do something dumb? You would think he'd already be... Okay, so you're going to get fuel. But at least you got some bricks on you. I would have thought he'd have been there by now. We also have this concrete guy sitting around doing nothing. Let's look at our one other depot. Because again, it's low-hanging fruit to get trucks busy again, isn't it? There it is. So then this is also giving me an idea of what we have sitting around, right? Yeah, so we got 2 bulldozers in this area. That's kind of... Though this area is kind of a good central area for now. Yeah, so we got plenty of dumpers if we need them any place. Which we probably... How are you looking? Oh, so it's not... Okay, so it's not even showing me all the mechanisms. Yeah, we want to probably keep... Well, again, this crew is trying to work all the way over here, so... I don't know, they're not even trying anymore, are they? Oh, okay, how are we doing here? We've got that pipe built, and we've got the warehouse well underway. So now, I don't think there's any reason that we couldn't assign 2. They may end up conflicting in ways, but I've rarely done this, but I know you can. Now, one of the things I don't know is it would be nice if it told you. Okay, related vehicles, mixer. Well, that would make sense. But what mechanism do they need? You would think an excavator. There goes an open haul. What's he got? The open haul. Why? Oh, because we need steel for it. All right, well, anyway, we can only put 1 mechanism. And let's see how many hours. 36,000 hours. So now I'm assuming the rail guys will work on this other thing over here, right? And, the thing I think as long as we didn't interfere with things, I mean, we could get this rail guy to start working over here if we did a little bit more planning. All right, but at least we have this row going. The other side of what I'm thinking is do we build a rail construction office over here, get this guy powered up after we get this tunnel built, and then just have them work from this side. But that would mean getting supplies and a whole bunch of other stuff over here too. Otherwise, the problem is it's kind of a long haul to go like all the way around here and back in. I don't know. That's my least priority for getting over there at this point. Though I do want to get it done. So how are we doing on this one? We're darn near up to the bridges. Did we get our bricks? No. What's wrong? Oh, here he comes. Is this him? Well, he's definitely seen. Is he unloading? Let me make sure I got it. Yeah, unload. I don't want you to wait. I mean, you could wait till you're there, but I don't. Should be kind of always full. There we go. Okay, good. He's getting bricks in there. Good. Just took him a lot longer. Or maybe my brain is working faster than normal. Therefore, time seems to be slower, right? All right, let's get rid of this because I'm not going to build that right away. And how are we doing over here? Yeah, this is really where we have the corn problem, huh? So what I'm thinking of is really what we should do. Well, let's wait until this, but I think I need to make this an intersection where we could just take corn and dump it on Molna rather than trying to even sell it all the way down to the NATO. You know, we're not really using this much track anyway. And then, you know, do we, yeah, I don't know if we put a second train on here. I see this guy's, nobody's sitting here just yet, but we're hardly using any. Speaking of that, where else could we use chemicals? Well, we're going to use chemicals. Yeah, so we don't have many chemicals here. Now, how are we doing? Are we just jammed up, or is everybody happy? No, okay, you're not sitting there, but you'll sit there. So the only truck that's actually going to sit here is this little chemical truck, and everybody else is going to run back and forth. And while I know this is completely inefficient at this moment, I do plan on building, and I haven't really worked out 100% how I'll do it, but I have these. Yeah, we can. One of the reasons I put this in and didn't just go direct from here is because I anticipate building a number of more chemical plants somehow up in the hills, maybe even over into this direction. So I anticipate bringing this conveyor out somehow, and I'm actually kind of picturing chemical processing on both sides of this road. So at some point we will have more of them, and they will be. So therefore, when a truck comes up to here, it can easily go to the next one. If we need a bigger truck, we can adjust, that kind of thing. So what are you doing? You're dropping off. Yeah, you're dropping off the corn. So we don't have too many workers, which is another thing we could probably work on. I mean, this town has people, but how are we doing? Are we educating everybody? For now, even though I know I just got rid of those roads, why don't we build another fancy road over here? And that'll actually give Project North something to do. You know, we'll come out. You know what? Let's put the wireframe on so I can make it nice and straight-ish. Yeah, so that's kind of uphill, isn't it? That's all right. Yeah, I don't want to go too close to that. Yeah, why is that? Oh, because I think I flattened that area for putting in the railroad track. So this could really be, you know, like lowered back down again, I think. It was just there for... There you go. Looks a little better, I think. Alright, so let's see about putting in another one of our new fancy type houses, right? How about a mega house? Look at that guy. Oof. Yeah, I don't want them too close. Well, you know what? Let's put in... Sorry, let's put in the road this way just for temporary... temporary kind of thing. Just so that we know we don't have issues with building it later. All right, so we're going to put in... do the infrastructure. That guy. All right, so what I want to do now is come by here. Let's use our proper tool. Okay, we're going to delete these. And then we'll construct them after we build this road. So that way it's not 17 projects that drives me up a wall. There we go. It was kind of far away, wasn't it? But that's what happens when you don't level. You know what? I don't like that. Let's... Okay. So let's sort of level out a little better using this. Now, they're really not letting me level too close, are they? I think we might level up a bit. And actually, sometimes... Alright, so let's see. Can we still get this guy in here? Or did I make it worse? It just doesn't want to... Yeah, then I just... Now I want to use the bulldoze tool. Don't get mad at me. I'm pretty safe with it. Alright, now back to the roads. And then we'll stop rebuilding the same thing over and over again. How's that sound? Yeah, there we go. Okay. So now... yeah, we'll build that. It's a little bit... No, you know what? We probably will put something else up here, like a house or something, potentially. Is this too long, is my question? So no, I don't think it is. Okay. Roads, commit to that. And then, you know what? You don't have everything you need, do you? Because I took out your... Well, no, you got open hole, covered hole. Let's take... We're going to need an excavator to start anyway, but didn't I... No, that's a bulldozer. I don't think we have a spare paver anywhere, do we? Oh, the heck with it. We're just going to assign you, and if it doesn't go that well, that's okay. It's not a huge hurry anyway. There. So now we have a nice, big, fancy road going in there. This guy's being worked on. Chemicals are being made, but we don't have a huge number. That's okay. Oh, there goes our little truck, so that's good. So now the other thing I want to check is that guy gets back and forth, right? Yeah, plenty of time. Yeah, all right, so we'll have some more workers to be able to come up there in the near future. And we'll definitely want a bunch more in this town anyway, so that's a good start. We might even be able to put another one in over here, right? Let's just see. Yeah. Pretty sure I can get a road by there. We'll just... Now let's make it even with the other one. What did I do? Spin it the wrong way? Yeah. Should be plenty of room to get... There we go. So let's demolish the roads that are here. Now I need to demolish the walk. That's one of the benefits, I think, to the... One of the benefits to the bulldoze tool is it does take out everything. All right, so I think we want to run this long. Now, I have no idea why we would need all of these, so if I can just get this road to connect from here to there, then that should connect in the future, right? And then let's cancel that. All right, so we'll commit to that, and we'll get that built. That'll be... are you getting too far away from the power? No, you should be all right. No, that should be a lot more workers. How many does each one of these hold? Quite a few, like 200 almost, I think. Still not convinced that it's, 189. Now, I think you could possibly get those in tighter than this because they're all one building, but they're pretty similar to these flats. But the 3 of these flats, though, would get 225 workers. So I still think my old flats are the most space efficient if you're too worried about that stuff. But anyway, we'll see what these mega flats look like, right? And at least we got these guys doing something. So I want to take a little bit of a break and just figure out what I'm doing, right? Like, just, it's been a lot of talking, but I come up with a little bit of a plan to sort of end the episode. We're working well. I think we've taken a look at a lot of the industries, but come back and think about what I'm planning on doing, or maybe like finish this road up so that we can build something in this episode. I mean, we've taken a look at the lumber, which I think you're not going to do a whole lot about. Let's turn off this wireframe. Yeah, this was a lot of work. I'm not sure we're ever going to get a huge amount of benefit unless I do something else with trains down here to make this more useful. You know, it seems like it was a lot of moving things around, and I'm still just hauling things with trains there. But all right, let me get a few minutes in here to just sort of collect my thoughts. And oh, what are we going now? What are we? Yeah, you know what I think I need to do here? Let's do this. Rail signal. Right, and then right, and then get rid of this one. Then they'll bump heads. One of them should go away. Yeah. The other one go in, and then they'll probably bump heads again, but then they'll delete the other one. Now the other thing we could do maybe is build a railroad to like connect here, but this is fine. This will keep them busy for a little while. All right, guys, I'll see you in a minute. I'm just going to pause. Might even pause the game, but just get to a point where we can get something else done and maybe even look for a few more construction industry problems. All right, see you guys in a minute. Okay, now that this road is done, I thought about something. Well, a little while ago I thought about it. It's like, well, we want to get the ability to take corn, but we need to at least be able to get back. So in other words, if I did my normal corn route, this guy could come up to here, and he could come by here, and he can get up to there, but he couldn't get back in, right? So we really kind of only need one, but then this road is awful close to here. So I want to pause it for a minute, just so I don't cause untold logistic issues, and see, can we even get... Oh, yeah, we could. Okay, let's see. Can I start from here? Okay, well, that would work, wouldn't it? Because they'll have to come... Yeah, I mean, it's sort of horrible in a lot of ways, but... Yeah, because they'll be coming back like this way, right? And then they could come right in. Now, as far as if we wanted to send a train just straight out, we might as well talk about that, huh? So this one would come and go right to there, right? Now, having done that, can we just connect this guy straight up through? Yeah, look at that. Because this would eventually need to be done as well. Now the problem... There. Yeah, so it's I don't know, it's not ugly, but it's a little different. Certainly not very symmetric. But there we go. Now here's... I want to do something else. Let's get rid of... Let's get rid of a bunch of this track. Sorry. And I just want to try to see if we can't make it one construction project, right? So it's not... Plus I want to do something else here too. Something else is, I want them to become, once we get to building on these tunnels, and I want this to be where they can turn into it and also have it, work properly, and that way we're not tying up our regular system. They can come in from here and end up working on both sides of the tunnel, so that way they're not constantly just jamming up the traffic. All right, so in order to do that, I would want to keep it fairly straight there. I think that's attached, right? Yeah, seems to be. All right, so in other words, they need to come in and out like normal. Let's do something like this. But then we're going to need like a crisscross, as I call it. I'm sure there's a better name for it, but there we go. Now, of course, the question is, would they ever want to come out of the food factory and go up here? Well, we'll worry about that later, but I don't doubt that we couldn't break them off someplace. So even though it might be a little awkward at first, why don't we put a crossing like here, right? So it's going to be a little bit of work to get them to that point. But at least once they get past this point, they'll be able to go to each track, you know, as we desire. All right, so let's commit to that for now. And that will get us the ability to take corn trains directly in and out. Either direction, we can export. I would probably just do it here because I don't think it's worth a lot of money to export just the corn. But also, why have corn backed up out the wazoo too? So good. So there we go. Now, the other thing I want to do is, because I figured out in the past, I built the thing because I couldn't build this, but then it turns out I had an error over here. Not an error, but I didn't finish my loop-de-loo. So what I want to do, rather than, you know, I want to be legitimate as much as I can. I want to make another loop down in this area. Yeah, we didn't finish this, by the way. So I don't know why I didn't finish that. It seems like they just stopped working on it and never restarted, right? So where could we put in a loop as far down this way as we can, even if it's a bit awkward? I don't really want to cross the road and you know, all of this. So can we give me an idea of, now we need a little more room than that. So we could come like, say, here. Yeah. Now again, this doesn't have to be pretty, but at least if they're coming in on the right way track, right? So this one really doesn't even want to be connected to there, does it? That will do little or no good. Let's take it back a little bit. This should be less of a turn, not more. So we should, there we go, right? So in other words, as they come in this way, they'll be able to turn around and go back down this way. They don't need to come in this one to get there. Now, while we're doing all of that, no, there's no real reason for another cross in the long run. All right, so let me commit to this. And then what that's going to do is jam up these tracks. So for now, yeah, let's go to like, yeah, there's fine. Right, so that way, now do we have these one way? No, but we can't until this guy gets finished this track here. But there we go. At least we have the ability to turn around and we can come back in and finish this one. Now, at this moment, we're not going to be able to finish these two because there's no way to turn around like down here, and I don't see I'm not going to mess with that. Maybe we'll give them the ability to turn around over here. So once they get done the tunnels, maybe we can have them come back. Because until they're done the tunnels, there's no real reason for a train to go straight. Now we have connected things up here. So I think that makes me more inclined. Well, we'll leave this end the way it is, but let me plop in another couple signals here, so that way that's not too big of a problem, right? Now these are one way, so this is going to be a problem. So see, this is where the manual construction is just a problem. So let's change these back to two-way. That's not two-way. So that at least while they're working on these two, we don't have, you know, we can get in and out and do what we need to do. And then these all need to be two-way. But first we're going to have to work on this, and we should probably get this done very first, right? So let's go down. Where is it? To this construction yard, and we have 3 vehicles in here. So let's just assign the last vehicle that we have here to do that. Good. All right, so let's zoom back down there real quick. Okay, so let's unpause. So we should be sending another vehicle out on this track any second. Do we have enough stuff? Oh, we don't have any steel. Why don't we have any steel? Do we have a steel truck? What are you doing? Unload, rail south, steel. You might as well just turn around and go back. There's no reason to keep going in there, right? Yeah, so let's get some more steel there. Hopefully, keep an eye on that. One thing to mention that I did, because I was still going around and looking just for problems. One of the things you can do is just look at your rail yards, right? You know, I mean, just click on these buildings and just make sure they have what you think they should have in them. Like we are building up a little bit of chemicals, not much, but we definitely want to build more chemical plants. But we're still in the process of getting more housing, I think, for some more people. But another real good thing to remember to do is keep an eye on these classrooms. When I came over to Kameen, if you look, we have a fair number of, I guess, I don't think they're adults necessarily, but plus, you know, like, whatever they are, they're adult-looking figures here. So we had run out of people. So what I did was use the gulag. And I came up here, and let's see, is there still anybody left in the gulag? Yeah, it was. I maxed out how many people were in the gulag and put some educated people in Kameen, and you can see we're slowly losing them. So let's see if we look at our. Yeah, look, we had 23 escapes this month and 196 last month. So that's actually kind of good. Now, did it help our numbers here? Yeah, look, we got 680. You know, and we got a few less unemployed. You know, nothing significant, but. The other thing is we didn't have enough educated people here in Lumbriska, so there was actually room in the town. So now, and again, I figured that out just by clicking here, and I saw that we had a number of adults. It looks like we almost got them all taken care of that quickly. And it really, I didn't stay too long. Enough time to finish paving this road was about it. So now that that road's paved and this is in, we probably need to get this guy working on the tunnel. Now, one thing I noticed, if you look at the tunnel, you need a ton of concrete. So we probably need to talk about getting rid of some of these. Like, I don't know, you know, we really don't need this asphalt paver. We really don't need this roller, I don't think. So I'm going to send them back, even though it's a little slow route, down to here. And then there is a mixer right here, so I'm going to send this mixer back up to here so that we do that. Now, also, we should have an empty space still. And I don't necessarily want to get rid of the dumpers, though we probably could, right? Let's see, how much... I mean, there is asphalt, but if we look at this other tunnel is doing pretty well. Where the heck is it? And if we look at the mechanism, they didn't put any mechanism on here. I don't know why. But the fact is that getting the concrete is definitely going to, in the long run, is going to be the slow thing. And there is some asphalt that's needed, but it's not needed in the first phase. So what I would like to do, we sent another dump thing up here, is I'd like to buy another concrete. I looked around the map, and we didn't have another concrete mixer. So let's get the biggest one we can, 9 tons, 9 tons. So why is this one cheaper? Well, this one was 11 tons. Empty weight, 8 tons. I don't know, I guess it's, I don't know. Let's get the 11 ton. It seems like a newer, yeah, look, 1976 to 2001, so. All right, that's fine. I'll buy the cheaper one. I have no problem with that. And then another one should come up here, so we should end up with 3 of them, which is good. So I don't know what else we'll need there, but do we have flap? Yeah, we have 2 open holes, which is the other thing we would need. Does that just calls it road? It doesn't call it tunnel. Look, unfinished road. Okay. Well, doesn't give it much credit, does it? Oh, yeah. So we should be working on this one pretty diligently. As far as this goes, I just assigned the next road over here. So and our other rail guys are busily building the bridges across, which is good. So once we get over there or closer, we'll get this construction going, and then I'll be able to level things and be able to push the whole thing further. Now, what do we got going on here now? See, this is a situation where it's making it red for itself. So I think just for the purposes of construction, like in other words, I think this is one place that people get frustrated because see how this one's now attached? Well, it's like feeding back on itself in a sense because it's in the same block. So if we just get this red, that it should, and we'll probably even, these I think are just going to cause a problem too. So we'll get this signaled out once things are done. It's just going to be a big block of mess until the construction here is done. So now, is that going to cause, where is our other construction guy? Oh, he's coming out now, which is just perfect timing to mess up that food train, isn't it? Probably. All right, well, we'll give that a minute to happen. Yeah, we'll come back in a minute to straighten that out. But the other thing I'd like to do, well, you know what, let's just pause it. I'll straighten that out later because I kind of want to, let's get that bus off this road. Let's see about getting, we're probably going to have to demolish the road. Let's let this other bus pass by. Because it won't let you delete things if there's a bus on it, on that segment. Yeah, let's, until somebody else tries to interfere, we're just going to let that bus get way up there in case we have to delete more than I wish. Okay, so I think we should be in good shape. So the first thing I want to do is just get these power lines out of the way. Because, yeah, they're just going to be in the way. So let's carefully delete that and delete that. So what we need to do, let's see, we have a signal here, but we can get rid of that. Or should we come off after that signal? Yeah, let's see if we can't do that. So let's go back over to railroads. So we'll start here. We know where we're going to end there, but can we... There we go. And let's see. Will this one... No, what happened there? No, it keeps going to the wrong thing. There it is. It doesn't like... All right, let's do this a little different. All right, let's do this a lot different. I assume that's attached. I can't really... No, see, look, it doesn't really look attached there, does it? You don't want to assume too much in life. There we go. Deleted that without actually messing anything up too bad. There you go. Now that looks attached. Okay, so now that we're there, we can shorten this up if we need to, but let's take this one. Yeah, see, I think we need to get rid of this intersection, which will cause problems, but I think the train should take priority over this. Let's put on the wire frame because no, we're in good shape. It kind of made me think there was a hill there the way that was. Yeah, let's delete some of the roads. Enough to get the train through, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do after that. So this one, what happens if we just do this? I mean, that's not pretty. And then the other thing, I definitely want to be able to get steel over there. So if we just did that, which again is not maybe ideal, but when that does attach that up, and then the other thing I'm going to want to do is put, I guess we'll do it up here, you know, the ability that we don't jam up all our tracks. So with such a big construction project, I'm willing to put that crisscross in. Now the problem is we need to get all these roads reattached. So one of the things I think, let's see, let's just work on one problem at a time, right? Can we get across? No, too close. That means I really need to delete that. So well, you know what? We should probably start out with this one, huh? Same thing here. It doesn't like, I think it's probably because of the signaling, so it doesn't let you. All right, so that's good. So now this guy should be able to, yeah, reattach there. And then this guy, what I'm thinking of is we bring him across here. What do you think? Not perfect. I mean, but that bus can certainly make it up there. All right, so let's commit to all of that, I think. All right, so now we have something for our rail construction guy. Now, he can't get to both of these unless we make all these one way or put in another kind of crisscross. Now, the other thing is I definitely want to get, oops, sorry for hitting the mic there. I don't know if you guys heard that. I definitely want to be able to get in and out of here. And it would really be better to do it after this, huh? What if we went really crazy and did like a big loop? Like, in other words, let's see, can we get from like here across here? Yes. And then I want to just do a parallel. And then after here, yep, I can do that. Can I get this one in? Yeah. And then let's see, can we do like this? Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, because steel is definitely one of the things. Now the other, and you know what, that actually works out really well. See how, you know, when you are the lead premier of a great nation, these things just come to you like uninspired. Like, you just do things so well, just on sheer brilliance is the way I like to think of it sometimes. Or you get lucky. One of the two. You pick. Let me commit to that because I like it so much. Because, look, another thing that we can now bring over there, lickety-split easy, is going to be these mechanical parts, right? So we can get them, or components, you know, we can get them right around to the, because I was so intelligent and brought this out and around. We're so lucky. You take your pick. All right, very good. So the other trains can all just come in and go this way. Even though this is kind of an ugly mess, at least it's a working ugly mess, right? So we'll see what we need to do to get all that working in the future, but, and we have now just cut off our steel supply. So I think what I want to do is actually, let's cancel the construction here. And we're just going to get them to assign a new construction. Look, you guys work on that. We've also cut off. All right, so Kameen, where are you guys? Yeah, you stop working on that for a minute and get this built ASAP. Okay, good. All right, so let's take off our wireframe and see how it all looks without the wireframe. Yeah, you know, it's not impressive, but it's very functional, right? Certainly not the prettiest, but I don't know that you would come to my channel for the prettiest. So, all right, good. Now, another thing to do here is we have all of this done. So we now have oil, but we don't have any chemicals. So, yeah, and we're not going to have that many chemicals. How are we doing? Let's see. Do we have, I think with our new ability to click on things, all related vehicles. Vehicles with a planned route. So what are you guys doing? You're, okay, so these are all the Okay, there's the chemicals, and you're going to Importska Fabric Factory. And yeah, you're not waiting until loaded, so you've only got 0.42. Well, you know what? That may be until we make an improvement over here. I think that's, and I don't necessarily, I'm not in a hurry to improve this just yet, like because we don't have the. Let's build more chemical refineries. But what I do want to do, and then this guy, by the way, he's just going to be, he's the one that's delivering 2 here. So, but it does look like we're doing a little better than 0.42. This is 1.5. So let's go get another covered wagon, which I don't think we actually have that many of, or at least not as many as I would. And covered haul, I don't know that we want a big one. You know, the small ones are awful cheap, but I don't want too small either. I want to make sure it's, yeah, you know. Yeah, eventually we're going to figure out a better way of doing all of this. But this guy could cover, let's see, what, again, I don't know, 100, see, this is only 92 kilowatts. Like, I don't understand. You know, we're going to go with this one. I don't really understand the fuel economy too much, I have to admit. Okay, yeah, don't start. I didn't really want you to start just yet. So I want you to go to here. And then I just got lost over to here. So even though we built all this fancy train tracks, I don't think we're nowhere near really needing train tracks, and I'd rather, you know, send at least some chemicals to both places. All right, so now we have another chemical truck started. And when we get, oh, you know what? Let's limit the amount, and you can only take chemicals. There we go. And then you can only take plastic. Good. So now, where do we... Oh, wait. Yeah, the plastic... Do we need plastic for fabric? Is that the other... That's the warehouse. Or do we need it for the clothes? Or am I just making stuff up? Yeah, where else do we need... I guess we don't necessarily need that much plastic, do we? I don't know. Whatever. For now... Yeah, you know what? We only need plastic for the electronic things. That's fine. We'll be building up some. None of that's going to work all that quickly or be backed up that fast. So we're going to put this exporting stuff with train on hold a little bit, I think, until we get, you know, some of this straightened out. Everybody's busy. All the construction crews are working. Let's hit play and see. Does this guy make it before that guy gets out? Or are they just going to jam each other up? Where did he go? I don't know. Oh, he's already up there working? See, now this is nice. Look, you can click on that and that. That's, again, I'm in the test version, so. But there we go. So we're going to get this finished. We'll get our loop-de-loop finished. I may work on some of that off, you know, in between the episodes. This guy's still picking up wood. You know, I think we got some things straightened out. Nothing major, nothing so exciting like the last episode, but you know, before this is over, we'll be able to start working on all our tunnels. And you know, this one seems to be getting stuff dropped off. We got a couple extra concrete mixers. We've got some of the problems with industry straightened out. You know, I got some school teachers where they need to go, and I think we're in decent shape. But it's been a long enough episode, and we'll come back and do some more of it. Probably just finish up a couple roads. I won't do any major construction without you guys, or major re-straightening out of anything. Did we assign this guy? That's the warehouse. Why do I keep clicking on not the right thing? Yeah, so let's send this guy down to... he's going to have a problem doing all that, isn't he? Well, let's send him down to do what he can work on without any problems. How's that sound? He's got plenty to do. We probably actually should... Yeah, again, I don't necessarily want to do another loop anyplace. All right, well, I'll worry about that later in the next episode. This one's getting kind of long, so. All right, thank you guys. I appreciate you watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. I also want to thank you guys for all your comments. Most of them are very nice and are very helpful, or both. So I appreciate that. All right, take care and have a good day. Bye-bye.